Please be advised that everything in my video is purely for entertainment purposes. These are purely my thoughts and opinions and are subjective. I must advise you to please do your own research. All media users found on the public domain and are fair use and fair dealings. Hey guys, I hope you're all doing okay. It is the season to be jolly, as they keep trying to remind us. I found it really hard these last couple of weeks. Don't worry, this isn't a feel sorry for me story. But what with the government now, can we have Christmas? Are we going to be in lockdown again? Can we see friends and family? Well, yes, I think the majority of us are going to do that, but it's just this impending doom again. 1 minute we're being told that it's fine, it's just a mild variant. The next minute, you must get your boosters done. You have to have it done by the 1st of January because we might still lock you down. It's such mixed messaging, and I feel really sorry for any of you that are like me that have actually just had to cancel Christmas plans as well. It's a bit of a so I've been feeling a little bit blue, but I've got some great news. The most amazing news, as most of you know, I'm not a baby person, but my little baby cousin has had her very own little baby. And I have to say, doesn't that make you feel old when the babies that you held are now actually holding their own babies? So I'm very excited for the new couple. So congratulations to my lovely little cousin and her partner. And I can tell you the name of little baby Freya. She's absolutely cute, isn't she? Cute as a button. No, I did not have that moment. My mum was wistfully looking at me in the background. I was just like, the ship sailed. Sorry, mum. Love you. Great Christmas lights. So speaking of Christmas lights and Christmas in general, I'm allowed to talk about it now because it is technically, well, very close to Christmas. I'm very taboo with it. Like I said in my last video, I'm quite grinchy. I have put up some little, you can see some little baubles and stuff. I am making a little bit of effort. But fear not, I will be bringing you some Christmas cheer because my mum is Mrs. Santa Claus. And you have to see it to believe it. And I will be bringing that to you in the next video. Yeah, my mum goes absolutely crazy. Whilst I'm mentioning crazy, let's talk about the Cambridge's Christmas card. I think it's absolutely lovely, but it's caused people to kick off. I mean, the Cambridges, with some people, they can do no right. But people have kicked off saying that it's really wrong that they had their Christmas photograph taken in Jordan. Some people are saying it's really wrong that they were on holiday in this Christmas photograph. I mean, they've never exactly done in front of the log fire. I mean, there's logs in this one, but they've never actually done like a really festive, what do they want? Like a Kardashian Christmas tacky one? Everyone wearing Christmas hats or dressed in white on a staircase. I like all of the photographs, family photographs we see of the Cambridges because you get a really good, homely, natural family feel. It's not stuck up their own bottom, and it just makes them look very down to earth, which I believe that they are as a family. So you've got people saying, oh, they shouldn't be in Jordan, but you know, they just need to get over that. But that's not the crazy thing. People have pointed out the fact that little Louis and Charlotte are in blue, but the rest of the family are in green, which means that they are already letting the two youngest children know that they are the spares. Yeah, I kid you not, absolutely crazy. But it did give me a lovely excuse to look back at the previous Cambridge family Christmas cards. And blue and green does seem to be a theme, but I think they just like those colours. It really doesn't work out saying that they are being singled out because they're the youngest children, because if you look at the card in 2018, does it mean the entire family are not important because George is the only one in green? How about 2019? They are all in blue. But the motorbike is green. Maybe it means the motorbike is being singled out as the spare. What about 2020? Oh look, Catherine's in red. It must mean something. She's sending a signal. Much like because I'm wearing red, I'm trying to impersonate the Duchess of Cambridge. This is the level of crazy that you have from people that are just constantly trying to attack this family. I like the Christmas card. I think it's lovely for them to share a family photograph with us, the general public. Now, while I'm talking about Christmas, we had the Duchess of Cambridge's A Christmas Carol concert, which was held at Westminster Abbey. The Together at Christmas event took place on the 8th of December, and boy, oh boy, have we got some amazing photographs. I think each time we've seen Catherine and William together attending events recently, it's been pretty, I don't know whether it's just their styles changed, the photography. We're just getting some really iconic pictures of the couple, and they always just look so in tune with each other. Whether it's Prince William's suede dinner jackets in multiple colours, or whether it's Catherine's beautiful dresses or coats, or is it just Catherine's hair? Whatever it is about the couple, it just definitely works. The event was attended by Catherine's family as well, otherwise known by the media as the Middleton clan. They were all dressed completely impeccably. And I've got to ask, what is the magic gene in this family? Pippa, Carol, Michael Middleton, obviously James, you know, his lovely new wife, Felicie, who he's just recently married, all in attendance and all looking like, well, they look like a catalogue family, don't they? This is twice recently that Catherine has invited her family to some big events. They also attended the Royal Variety performance when Catherine was wearing that glorious green sparkly dress. The Middletons, despite the fame and the cameras and the media intrusion that landed on all of their laps when Catherine started dating William, they have always come across as incredibly discreet. They are very much an affectionate, close-knit family. Even Prince William has spoken about how being part of the Middleton clan has given him so much love and normality, and obviously the relationship that he has with these children and Catherine and the grandparents. You can just see that the family together have brought something different to William's life. That's pretty obvious to see. That's not saying obviously Charles isn't a loving father, but even Charles seems a lot softer since William has had Catherine and the Middletons in their lives. We also saw the York princesses. I have to say here, both of them looked really, really good. Princess Beatrice was absolutely glowing. Her hair looks amazing. She's quite clearly using the same shampoo as Catherine. Princess Eugenie arrived by herself. One can only presume that lucky daddy Jax Brookbank was on baby duties at home. We also had in attendance Sophie the Countess of Wessex, followed by Mike and Zara Tyndall, who we don't tend to see them at many engagements because obviously they're not working royals, but this is obviously slightly different. It's very much a family affair. It seems that everyone from the Middleton clan to the royals were there supporting Catherine's Christmas Carol concert. The concert was organised as a Christmas thank you and to celebrate the incredible work of the pandemic heroes, including teachers, charity workers, volunteers, and many other very special guests. Performances were put on by Pixie Lott and one of my personal favourites, Leona Lewis. We are obviously yet to see these performances, but the biggest stars, I have to say, were in the audience. Many children from a variety of charities and causes were obviously invited with their families. We had 3-year-old Daisy Briggs, who is one of many children and adults from all over the world that were inspired by Captain Sir Tom Moore. Daisy herself has been doing the Rainbow Walk for the NHS. We also saw Catherine and William chatting away to 6-year-old Tony Hudgell and his family. Tony was another little boy that was inspired by Captain Tom Moore. Obviously, he touched a lot of hearts around the world. Tony himself has actually managed to raise over £1.5 million, which has gone to the hospital, which helped save his life. And another little girl who has become quite famous in her own right now, who I did naturally expect to see in the audience, is 5-year-old Mila Snedden. This amazing little girl first captured our hearts and made most of us cry when this portrait was picked out by the Duchess of Cambridge herself for the Hold Still portrait campaign that Catherine did with the National Portrait Gallery. This photograph made many people cry and touched many people's hearts. Mila has actually been to meet Catherine before when she and her family were invited by the Duchess to Holyrood House. Mila was very excited knowing that she was going to meet a real princess. Catherine promised Mila that when they did actually meet, she would make sure that she would wear pink, which is Mila's favourite colour, and she did. Isn't that just the cutest story? I mean, there's so many reasons why I love the Duchess of Cambridge, but I have to say that with these children and so many more children, the strength and determination that all of them have shown really is truly inspirational. And I hope I didn't make any of you cry, and I personally cannot wait to watch this concert. But sadly, we can't until Christmas Eve. We all have to be patient. It is being aired at 7 p.m. on ITV, which brings me to a very important part of this video. The BBC normally have, not so much as the rights, but they air anything to do with the royal family, the big events, because they are the British Broadcasting Association. But this time, they pushed William and Catherine a little bit too far, and I'm really glad that Catherine and William, or whoever it was that had the deciding factor. It might have been the Queen. They probably would have had to get permission from the Queen, but to say, do you know what? You're not having it. And they gave it to ITV. And I've said this before. I actually had a statement printed in the Express, which I didn't know about till today. This is not me bragging. I near enough spat my squash across the room. I was trying to find, a bit of, photographs and talking about things like research. And I came across this article in the Express. I am apparently a royal commentator, wait for it, and influencer. Yes. Now I need to start posing in bikini shots, promoting products to you guys. Absolute tosh. I'm not an influencer, and I do talk about the royal family, but it was just surprising to see that. As I said, this isn't me bragging, but it was just so weird to be reading about the royal family and then see that I've got a career that I did not know about. So what did the BBC do to earn the wrath of William and Catherine? Oh, the royal family in general. Well, they aired a controversial, there we go, pronunciation. See, I'm not very professional, am I? Documentary called The Princes in the Press. And it was supposed to be, and I quote, about how royal journalism is done and features a range of journalists. But the show did not turn out to be what it seemed. In fact, the show has gone down so badly that the BBC were meant to be doing a follow-up podcast, which has now been dropped due to the number of complaints about the show was completely anti-royal family. And they've overstepped the mark, and they severely underestimated the royal family's patience, because let's be honest, they have been pushed to a point this year that I don't know how they haven't actually gotten a plane to Montecito, dragged Harry back by the scruff of his neck, slapped him about a bit and thrown him in the tower. Given that the advert showed that Omid Scobie and Meghan Markle's solicitor, Jenny Afia, were appearing, it was going to be obviously stirring up a little bit more grief. And considering the year that the Queen's had, to the point her health has not been great, she is stepping back, we are still seeing her doing appointments in Windsor. But she lost her husband this year. She's recently lost another friend. And the BBC decide now to do this, even though they filmed it previously to the court case. And what an outcome that court case has had. Meghan might think that she has a victory over it, but she doesn't really, because it's been proved that she's a complete and utter fabricator of the truth. As was Omid Scobie, who has also been caught out committing perjury. It is called perjury when you lie to the court. So anyway, the royal family had asked to have a preview, which is pretty bog standard of any documentary that is going to be talking about them, and the BBC refused. But they did not, however, refuse Prince Harry, because Prince Harry was able to contact the BBC and to get them to stop using the word Megxit, because his wife told him it was misogynistic. So if they're not giving the real royal family time to actually just review this, to potentially see if any bits should be cut from it, or give them just a chance to reply, get lawyered up, whatever they needed to do, but they let Prince Harry change a word because his wife didn't like it. That goes to show you it's one-sided. You cannot air a documentary talking about both princes, but then only show one side of the coin. It was clearly, obviously, going to be in favour of the Duke and Duchess of Montecito. And the BBC have recently pissed off Prince William anyway, because they allowed the Netflix to film in the actual BBC studios where the Martin Bashir interview took place with his mother. And this, again, the BBC are in massive trouble over this Martin Bashir interview, because they lied and tricked Diana into giving that interview. They are still apparently pushing the boundaries with contempt of court by not disclosing a personal letter that Diana actually gave to Martin Bashir after the interview. The BBC are quite clearly hitting self-destruct with their relations with the royal family, but it seems that they're in favourable light of Prince Harry. It makes you wonder, what are the BBC up to? Clearly it's going to strike up controversy, but I mean, surely you don't want to bite the hand that feeds you when it comes to the royal family. Now, one of the things that flagged up for a lot of people was the fact that Jenny Afia, Meghan's lawyer, was allowed to speak out about an ongoing bullying allegations. Right, this is from multiple members of staff. Surely there's something very, very wrong in that, because this is an ongoing investigation. You imagine being a victim in this scenario of Meghan's, that you finally plucked up the courage to speak about it, to go forward with this investigation against her, and you see on TV a solicitor that is speaking out, basically saying that it's all lies, it's all just false allegations. And Jenny Afia, to cover her butt, says at the end she didn't want to negate anyone's personal experiences. That's pretty much what you're doing. But the point is, these victims, and they are victims of bullying, are watching people defend basically the person that did this to them on TV, but they can't have a voice, they can't speak out, they can't have their solicitors on the same show. I mean, is it a little bit of a witness intimidation tactic going on there? That no one's going to believe you because we've got it out there before you. I mean, is that me being over dramatic? I think it's really wrong when the investigation is still ongoing to belittle people as putting it down to their personal experiences. Bullying is bullying, and we still don't know the severity of what this bullying was. It's not been denied that it wasn't physical. We've heard horror stories of Meghan throwing hot tea at staff. She apparently told the governess in Australia to go F herself. And this is apparently what the central investigation is going around. And as Richard Eden pointed out, they've had this number of months. Why have they not filed a lawsuit against the allegations against Valentine Lowe, who broke the story? As always with this couple, if they're not suing, it's probably true. And that is very, very worrying that the BBC allowed her lawyer to speak out in defence of her. The documentary is called The Princes and the Press, so why was there even any segment in it where Meghan was able to get her voice heard yet again, trying to get her side of the story across using this documentary, but the royal family weren't even allowed to have a preview? Now, you think that's bad enough, but the presenter, Mr. Amal Rajan, who has since been found that he's got links to some of Meghan's friends, he has denied this, and he said he was just at a party and he doesn't remember her, but it's just this dodgy connection. But Amal Rajan was clearly having his Martin Bashir moment, because it's not gone well for him. Firstly, he's known as a Republican. He thinks that the House of Windsor should crumble. He's been very open about it. So it's very strange that the BBC would have someone who's been so outspoken about being particularly one-sided to present a show talking about, well, you'd think they'd be impartial, talking about the royal family and the media. But that's not the worst of it. Mr. Rajan quickly tried to delete his Twitter history, which you would think if you're going to appear on a TV documentary, you should have really thought about doing that before. To the shock, to the horror, he's actually put a tweet out at one point saying he'd like to throw a brick at Catherine. Could you imagine? Imagine if a presenter had said that about Meghan Markle. Could you imagine what would have happened to Piers Morgan if he'd said, I just want to throw a brick at her? He said a lot less worse. And to be honest with you, he actually said stuff that the majority of the public agreed with. And look what happened with him. All right, he's come out the other side of it shining and laughing now, but they still could have cancelled his career. And it's not just Catherine he's attacked the fact the Duke and Duchess titles are ridiculous, that he was going to change the wedding venue because it's where they got married. He insulted Prince Charles's intelligence, implied that he can't brush his own teeth. I know that was a story from a long time ago, but come on. He implied that Catherine was a secret UKIPper, which is an undertone. UKIP were accused of being the racist party of the UK. And the reason why I think he's going with that particular angle is because he's also called Mike Tyndall a skinhead. It's quite clearly obvious what he meant with the tones of that, because obviously you've got the white supremacist skinheads. He was also a bit bitchy, shall we say. He didn't quite say it, but enough was implied about Princess Eugenie and Beatrice. We know they've had a lot of grief for bad fashion choices, but still, there is no one in the royal family that he has not attacked. He's said multiple times about the House of Windsor should fall, and the BBC have done what? No background checks on this guy? For him, like I said, to throw a brick at Kate? No wonder Catherine and William said that they were very upset about this documentary being aired. The presenter choice is just absolutely baffling. The BBC have since tried to defend itself, but I think they failed miserably. They refused to let the royal family preview it and potentially raise any legal concerns.
But they let Prince Harry change the word Mexit to Sussex it. I can't even say it, it doesn't roll off the tongue. But the whole show, someone said I was going to watch it, and I remember this person making a bitchy comment. They're like, Taz will watch it and then she'll just moan about it. No, I didn't watch it. I've still not watched it. I read enough about it because I don't want to give them the viewing numbers. I may be one person, but I know lots of other people refuse to watch it as well. And I hope I'm not encouraging any of you to watch it either, because it's completely one-sided. They've used someone that's implied the royal family's racist, that wanted to brick the Duchess of Cambridge, called the future monarch stupid. And do you know what his excuse was? He's sorry for his immature tweets. He was in his late 20s when he tweeted this. This isn't like a 16, 17-year-old at college. And it's the fact that Meghan has quite clearly been caught out, Meghan and Harry caught out lying on Oprah. She lied about the court case. Harry lied about the court case. They gave all of the information to Fighting Freedom. Omid Scobie was on there and he's been caught out lying as well, because he clearly did spend a lot more time speaking with Harry and Meghan. It was, as Lady C said, it was a hagiography. Everyone was right about it. They lied to absolutely everyone. And then we were expected to believe Meghan's solicitor, that although she hasn't sued over these allegations coming out, she hasn't gone after Valentine Lowe, she did in fact not bully these people. So they will speak to known liars, but not give the royal family a chance for preview. I wonder why. As I said, it certainly seems that the BBC are trying to hit the nuclear button on the monarchy for whatever reason, for whatever agenda, it's unknown. So I think with everything that the BBC included and did not include in that documentary, they definitely deserved to be kicked where it hurts. And I hope Catherine and William do influence the Queen to turn around and say, don't let them air the Christmas Day speech, because it has been aired, I don't even know where to begin to tell you the number of years, at 3 p.m. on BBC One. And it was obviously aired on other channels. And I think I should just turn around and say to the BBC, no, sorry, not this year. They overstepped the mark. It's the British Broadcasting Association, and the very least they can do is be pro-monarchy. And considering that they've made this very one-sided, chosen a presenter that is incredibly questionable, I'd say that maybe the BBC shouldn't have any royal events coming their way anytime soon. So that's it for me, guys. I hope you are having an okay time. I know we're all in limbo at the moment, but I will be back with you very soon and hopefully put a bit of festive cheer on your face by showing you and sharing with you my mother's Christmas house. Take care for now, guys. Bye.
If you like my video, please remember to like and subscribe. Please, angry typists, you will be blocked, so save your fingers the time. If you would like to buy me a coffee, please go to my About page and click the link. Love, Taz.